Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Running in Circles podcast. This is me, Pallav, and this should be the last episode of the season. And today we're going to talk about setting goals, and towards the end we're basically going to review the season. So joining me in this episode is the person who I have every season review with. Please welcome Venu.
Hey Pallav, nice to talk to you again.
Yes, hello Venu. So let's start with the episode. So today we're gonna talk about setting goals. Like setting goals in a way is about giving like a direction to your career or like any other thing related to it. So do you believe in setting goals?
Yeah, I think I do believe in setting goals. I think we should set goals if you're really serious about life. And
Okay. uh,
yeah, you don't want to just be like wing it, right? Up till a point, maybe you can wing it, maybe till
yeah.
10th or something. But after that, I think you need to set some goals.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I was wondering, how do you set goals?
Okay, so again, I also believe in setting goals. I feel it is like a way to, you know, give a sense of direction to where you're going. Like, I agree with you. Like, till a certain point, which is high school, basically, everybody's on the same boat, and they're all headed towards the common thing of, you know, before university, maybe, and then maybe after that, you sort of go into different streams. Okay, let's say you want to basically till up till then you discover what do you want to do um in your career life as well as personal life, and then after that is when you start implementing on it. So
Yeah,
the way I set goals is just based on what I like, really. So again, uh, till a certain point everybody is on the same path, but then you sort of realize that, hey, I am good at this, I will want to go further into this, so I'm going to set myself a goal to get this, and I'm going to put in this many effort, this much time on it, or something like that. So again, like I would that is that's purely career goal. I have other goals as well.
yeah,
Financial goals is a thing. Also, like, I'd want to be financially independent by X age, or I would want to be free of debt by this age, or something like that. So that's also another type of goal. So yeah, that's how I set goals. What about you?
yeah. So mine is a slightly different thing.
Hmm.
So I set tiers in my goals. Okay, so it's
Tiers. Okay.
not always,
Like.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's not always levels basically,
Hmm.
right? It's not that. So every task that I take up,
Hmm.
it is not that I have failed that task if I
Okay.
finished it. It's
Hmm.
not that, it's in most cases it's not that I failed that task, but it's
Hmm.
not that I've successfully completed that task also.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
like, say for instance, in 11th and 12th we all set goals for the college, right? Like
Yeah.
you want to,
Yeah.
some people want to get into IITs, or some people want to get into
Yeah,
NIT,
which is
whatever.
mostly everyone.
Yeah, everyone. But
Yeah.
yeah, so of course, like I had like tears in my goals, right? Okay,
Yeah.
see, IIT, I had a very realistic I had a very realistic outlook, and
Hmm.
I decided that IITs might not simply be uh, somewhat reachable for me, because
Hmm.
in the cram school that I was competing,
Hmm. Hmm.
people had started their coaching in ninth and 10th, 8th, ninth, and 10th
Yeah.
onwards.
Yeah.
And they were already
And
pros. They were, what I was learning for the first time was revision for them.
I was one of them.
Yeah. You, in your own way, were one of,
Yeah.
was one of them. But yeah, so, and then
Yeah.
these guys, the guys who I were competing with, who got like all this training in 8th, 9th, 10th, and all,
Yeah.
were themselves not sure about cracking it.
Yeah.
And the teachers themselves used to, you know, give that sort of impression that it's not easy, right? Like even
Yeah.
these guys who've been studying for like 3 4 years
Hmm. Hmm.
uh have do not have a seat guaranteed for them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, fine, this is not my thing. I
Hmm.
mean, if you get it, great, awesome. But
Yeah.
you definitely should not feel sad if you don't get it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like that, I kept some goals. Like this is highly optimistic goal is getting this IIT thing. Otherwise,
Hmm.
a second level thing would be to get some college through this mains, right? Some NIT
Hmm.
or one of those
Hmm.
triple IT colleges,
Yeah. Yeah.
where the reputable government colleges, right? And of course,
Yeah.
then below that would be getting some good college and getting the better private colleges like BITS or something.
Hmm.
Maybe BITS and NIT would be at the same level, but yeah, finally would be
Hmm.
getting some good college in Karnataka or someplace with
Hmm.
which in a branch that you want. Okay, not just
Hmm.
any branch. At least
Hmm.
here you should really try for the branch that you want.
Hmm.
So like that, I've set my goals.
Hmm.
I could achieve, and of course below that is screwed. Okay, you're done.
Yeah.
No point. Yeah.
I mean,
So
I
yeah,
wouldn't want to say that. Like some people, like there are people who, uh,
yeah. I mean, in terms
there are
of the
some people
goals
who,
perspective,
yeah,
I,
from goals perspective, yeah. But of course, there are people who don't set goals. I mean, they like the uncertainty, and they go with the flow. So nothing wrong in that. But
yeah, yeah,
I
nothing
mean,
wrong. Yeah, yeah,
I've not been that type.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I could reach
Hmm.
maybe not the top, but somewhere in the middle I reached.
Hmm.
So that didn't make me like super happy because I
Hmm.
obviously didn't reach the
Hmm.
levels higher than what I reached,
Hmm.
and that didn't make me feel sad also because I at
Hmm.
least was not at the didn't it was not I was not I didn't do that bad also.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, okay, so you got what you deserve in some ways, right? And you just
Okay.
move
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Got it.
I think that was how it was for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, in terms of fulfilling goals, I would say that unlike you, I mean, I don't have tears in my goals. I usually
Hmm.
just one goal which I make, I put all effort into achieving that one goal. Maybe
Hmm.
I don't know if it's the right thing or no, but if I don't get that goal, I usually feel a little sad because
Yeah.
I put so much heart and soul into getting that goal, and when you put effort into doing things and you don't get the outcome, you do feel dejected for a while. So
Yeah.
again, to talk about something personal here, I had that IIT dream that you were talking about.
Yeah.
I was one of those who actually put in 4 years of efforts into getting something, but ultimately, um I didn't get that. Okay. So as you said, you had tears to your goals. So if not IIT, you'd like to get into NIT or BITS. In my case, I did get into BITS, but because my it wasn't my goal, I would say that I was like, come, like, if you look at it from an external perspective, you would say that, hey, it's amazing that I got into BITS. But at that time, I was dejected that I didn't get my goal number one. So
Hmm.
for me, it felt like I was settling down for bits, and it's it felt, I mean, again, from an external perspective, it is amazing, but I personally wasn't satisfied with it. So
Yeah.
that's been a struggle for me. And
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I've been trying to practice to not feel dejected by it, and sort of appreciate where I'm going. That again, that the same perspective, that hey, the efforts that I put in the 4 years, that ultimately helped into getting into your goal number two, which is bits. I
Yeah.
mean, it didn't help me get into goal number one, but it did help me get goal number two. So that's a perspective that I'm trying to develop. So yeah, that's how, I feel about, fulfilling my goals. Like, again,
Yeah, like
yeah.
yeah, I agree. Like in some sense, I think my philosophy also has been, aim for the highest so that you can at least get something below that, right? I mean,
Again,
you go to these coaching, you go to IT coaching not just for IT coaching, right? You
yeah.
it's in some sense encompasses coaching for every other thing. So if you're at least, if you have some sort of a goal,
Hmm.
uh, you know
Hmm.
you get it, that's awesome. But
Hmm.
it's, if you're sort of uh, preparing to reach your goal, then I
Hmm.
think yeah, in some sense you're also, it's something like aim for the stars, at least you fall on the moon type of scenario,
Yeah, but then the thing
yeah,
is, the reason why I mean, I don't believe in tears so far is that it sort of reduces the importance of your goal number one. That uh, again, no perspective is right or wrong here. It is just, for me,
yeah,
what works for me is that, I don't like to keep goal number two, is because I mean, because that reduces like the effort that you put into goal number one. You feel like, or at least I feel like, if there's only one goal, I'm going to work hard for it. But if there's like goal number one, two, three, I will, like, midway into goal one, I'll realize that no, I'll make my peace with goal number two, something like that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so I mean, I've not been that type. That's why I just keep one goal, and I'm going to put all my efforts into getting goal number one. If it happens, then great. But if it doesn't happen, then appreciate that you got goal number two. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to develop.
yeah, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So do you have anything else to add here, or should we move on to the final part of the segment?
Yeah, sure, we can move on.
Okay, so final part of this episode is basically around how do you feel when you don't manage to fulfill it? I think we've talked a little bit about it already, but you know to just cap off the episode with that, basically.
Yeah, so you do feel bad that,
Hmm.
at least I feel bad that I did not get what I really wanted to get. I mean, obviously,
Hmm.
top is what you really want to get.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's okay because sometimes uh, there could be both internal and external factors that can affect whether you reach your goal or not. Internal
Yeah.
being your fault, external being something
Yeah.
that happened in your surroundings that was not
Yeah.
really in your control, because of
Correct.
which
Yeah.
you
Couldn't make it.
screw up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing much you can do in external.
Hmm.
Internal is, keep your shit together. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, see, even if you've not reached it, if you've at
Hmm.
least felt that the reason why you didn't reach it,
Hmm.
reach your primary goal,
Hmm.
is not because of internal but external factors,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
then I think you can, at least sort of feel happy that it was not because of you that you failed, right? I mean, some external
Hmm.
factors that you couldn't control took
Hmm.
over, and so in that sense, yeah, I mean, so if you have your goals in tiers like me,
Hmm. Hmm.
if you have any tier that you get, I don't
Hmm.
think you'll be very happy. Either
Yeah.
will you be extremely sad. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Hmm.
it's been so far good for me. I've not felt extremely bad.
Yeah.
Never have, neither have I been, happy that I just got it.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it's always been, it's like a straight path of emotions. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
Like
that's
no
huh.
highs and lows. Like a straight thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So again, that's very well said. That again, it works for you, so that's great. So for me, the thing is, you know how do I feel when I don't don't achieve my goals? Is I do feel dejected for sure. But that again, in terms of academic goals, I've probably not achieve my full potential. But I've had simple goals in life as well. For example,
Mm.
to like to develop communication skills, for example. That's a
Mhm.
simple goal. um you know
Yeah,
like there are so many goals which I have had that way, which I've made goals, I've achieved them. That way I've made many goals, I've achieved them. But sometimes you still want something more, right? So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it's not just about setting goals, achieving them. It's also about like how you impacted the people around you and things. So when you don't achieve the goals, you sort of look at your journey than your destination. And I've always been the person that has believed that the journey that you go through is way better than the destination that you reach. Like basically to see how far you've come, or like to see how the impact you've had on the people around you and things like that. So there is a certain joy in that journey. So cherish that joy, because that's what gives happiness. And yeah, once I think the happiness that you get there is probably greater than the happiness that you get from setting goals. Again, the if you achieve your goals, great. But if not, then just look at your journey and then be happy about that. So yeah, that those are my thoughts. Do you have anything else to
Yeah,
add
I
here?
mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think the journey also matters. It's not just, you don't just look back at whether you achieved your goal or not, right? You also look back at the journey that you took, right? And
Yeah,
you probably learned a lot in that journey. And
yeah,
those learnings will not go for waste. So
absolutely.
that's
So
definitely a positive.
yeah,
And those
like
kinds of learnings is something that you get only when you've set goals, as opposed to when
correct.
you.
Yeah. So like even
So
even though you failed in achieving a goal, there's still something that you learned, right? Which you won't
yeah, yeah,
probably do in the future. So I think there's a joy in that. There is a skill to develop
yeah,
from that. So yeah, that's about it. With that, season 3 of the podcast comes to an end, and now we're gonna have a quick review of the season that has gone by.
yeah. So Pallav, so tell me, you've done like how many episodes now? 10, right? This will be the 10th
Yeah,
one,
I
correct?
yeah, I always do, 10 episodes in a season. I
10
don't know,
episodes.
it's yeah,
Yeah,
it's just a thing, yeah.
yeah. So how has this season been so far?
um this season, I would say it's been great. I was I was really excited to um have the season again, because I'd planned the season like around September, October. But towards like the towards when basically I put out these episodes around Christmas break, right? I mean winter break, right? Because that's when everyone is free. But like
Mhm.
towards December, November, I was like really unsure whether I want to do it or not, because again, like some sort of anxiety kicks in when I'm about to release the episode. But I thought, hey, I really want to have these conversations with the people I like. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Nice. Yeah. So Pallav, I was just looking at the topics and they seem to be like very varied, something like, from sports to, philosophy and stuff. So why did you choose these subjects? So what was the thought process behind all these subjects, and which
Yeah,
one was your favorite subject of all the 10 that you had?
yeah. So I would say that the way I choose topics is around the people that are good at speaking on that. So that's how
Mhm.
I choose a topic. And basically, if you look at the trends of my season, first season was just starting, basically just having any conversation. um Basically first season was the start. I didn't know which direction to go. So it was, the what do you say, the cover art of the picture was just walking, just like starting a journey, if you can take it that
Yeah,
way. The second season was at your crossroads. If you look at the again, if you look at the cover of the season 2, that was,
Hmm.
about being crossroads, because that's how I felt at that time. Season 2 was about standing at the crossroads and taking a direction, and that was what was the theme of season 2. So if you see the cover
Yeah.
art for season 3, it is like a lighthouse. The
Hmm.
reason why I chose lighthouse as the cover for season 3 is because if you look at the symbolism of lighthouse, it's about what do you say, like your core beliefs, something that basically always guides you home in a way, or like to a shore, or to like your uh, basically like a place where it guides you to yourself, really. So the that was the meaning behind the cover title. um and
Hmm.
again, that's where the inspiration for season 3 is. So season 3 was, again, like we talked so much about core beliefs, and simple things like relationship with parents, moving
Yeah.
to America, and
Yeah.
the sum of our past. So if you see all these things, it basically means that what, like, your core beliefs, and how you function as a person, and things like that. And again, I've had some simple I mean, not so uh I've had simple episodes as well, like cricket, for example. That was inspired because the people who are in that episode, they want to talk about it. So uh,
Yeah.
again, something that is core to me is what I talk about. So that was about season 3. And yeah, that's basically how I came up with the idea of season 3, and the topics weren't. So to summarize, it's just a combination of the overarching theme of the season combined with the interest of the people on the episode.
Yeah. So, and which one was your favorite out of the 10 subjects?
Which one was my favorite out of the? Again, there are multiple favorite things on the episode. Um, Relationship with parents was probably a good episode, again, because the reception on that episode, if you see, like, there have been Twitter threads written on it and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so that got some reception. Personal worth was a topic in which I enjoyed talking a lot. The sum of our past was a topic. I mean, all I've really enjoyed talking on all episodes, but the it's I mean, it's hard to pick one favorite when these there have been so many good in the things. And also, one more thing, I've noticed the trend in the season has been the episodes are slightly longer. For example,
Yeah.
again, probably the dynamics of the listeners changes based on that. But that's not the reason that I've done this podcast. The real reason why I do this season is because to have the conversation with the people around me, right? So
Yeah.
I've never put like an external time limit on the you know on the podcast, on the episode, uh like size, or maybe. But
Yeah.
there have been like 1 hour is very normal in this season. The power of music, for example, that episode was up to 2 hours long, which is like a first time for me as well. So I had to split that episode
Hmm.
into two. So that's basically been the theme of the season. The episodes are longer, the conversation have been better, and I'm hoping, and I hope you notice that my hosting and everything around it has been better. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's uh, it's good. I mean, it's good that your episodes also got longer. I mean, it only talks about how good the topics were because
Yeah, but again,
the
when you have longer episodes, it sort of impacts your number of listeners, because as a listener, why would you want to listen to a 1 hour episode when you can have 20 to 30 minute episodes? So again, it's those
I like yeah.
I don't think about those
So
dynamics, but yeah.
like if the topics are interesting, right? What I've
Yeah.
noticed is even when I listen to like other podcasts,
Hmm.
if the topic is interesting and even if I don't have time, I just
Yeah.
speed it up. I think
Yeah,
most people
yeah,
also do that. So I mean, I
yeah,
think longer. I don't think you should restrict yourself to like
yeah,
30
absolutely. I mean,
minutes
I'm not
once.
doing this for the listeners anyways. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, sure. The longer ones are nice. So no,
yeah,
nothing to feel bad about. Anyway, so what
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
season four? When can we hear about season four?
Season 4, again, if season 4 is happening, I mean, right now the answer is, I don't know if it's happening. Am I
Hmm.
interested in making it happen? Sure, but again, depends on availability, depends on whether to continue this or not. Podcast has like always been like something on the side for me. It's not been a main uh goal, for example, to tag it into the episode. uh it's
Yeah,
so depending on how my schedule that time and the people around it, if it's happening, it'll great, but at the moment I don't see season 4 happening. Yeah,
okay. Well, let's hope that it does happen and
let's
that we
see.
have very nice topics to talk about then too.
For I mean, I already have a few topics in mind, for example, like the
Yeah,
basic, okay, to talk about the trend of the listeners of this podcast. Most of the people are from 18 to 25, and again, this was from season 1 stats. So when I start make season 2, the person who is 18 will be 20, what, 24, 25, no, sorry, 22, 23, my mistake. 22,
yeah,
23 by the time season 4 comes out. So again, that's probably the time when you're, let's say, having your first paycheck or like earning more. So one example of an episode would be financial goals, for example. So uh, I mean, there's always things to talk about, but based on availability, based on uh, you know my busy schedule, we will see if it happens.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right then.
So I think
But
with yeah,
yeah, we're pretty done with the season now. I hope you guys enjoyed the season and this episode. Um, all right then. I will see you guys hopefully in a year.
yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.